Hello everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Leonardo Samminiatesi and I am an OTM expert in business reply. Today with me are Elisa Mastronardi and Elisabeth Breton. Elisa is a WMS expert and works with me in business reply, while Elisabeth was the key project manager figure during this project from customer side, so from Pusterla side. Today we will present to you the digital transformation project of Pusterla France. Is a project that went live in January of this year and involved us as a business reply in the implementation of OTM, WMS, and also Oracle ERP. So this is the agenda of the presentation. So we will talk about of the main project highlights, focusing on integrations and interactions that we developed during this project. Some key and main important point about OTM and WMS developed, challenge that we encountered during this project, the methodology we applied, and then the other result that we earned, and some lesson learned. But first of all, we will have a quick review on who is Business Reply. Business Reply is a part of a Reply Group and is the Italian leading company in the system integration of the Oracle application. We have more than 29 years of partnership with Oracle, and today we are more than 150 consultants certified in Oracle application. Talking about our OTM Cloud and WMS Cloud practice, we are more than 40 specialized consultants in configuration, parameterization, and integration of OTM and WMS Cloud. Today we have more than 25 active multinational customers in a lot of business like manufacturing, retail, aftermarket, transport services, food and beverage, and luxury. We have more than 15 years of experience in OTM projects and application maintenance services, and since 2018 we introduced in our practice also Oracle WMS. So today we celebrate 10 years of presence as a business reply at this event, at EMEA SIG user conference, and in the slide you can see all presentation and speech that we present to you at this event through this 10 years journey. So now I will leave the floor to Elisabeth that can better present herself, Pusterla, and also the strategic needs at the base of this project introduction of the Oracle system.
Thank you, Leonardo. Hello, everybody. So I'm Elisabeth Breton, representing here Pusterla 1880. I coordinated the Oracle implementation for Pusterla in France on the 3 production sites, and I'm currently the industrial controller for Pusterla in France. So now let me introduce Pusterla 1880. So Pusterla's DNA is to manufacture inspiring packaging to accompany the world's luxury brand in their pursuit of beauty. Pusterla is recognized in the luxury packaging industry both for its quality products and for the services offered to the customer, especially co-packing and logistic services for finished goods. So the story of Pusterla started in 1818. The company was created by Alessandro Pusterla with a workshop in Lombardy, Italy. Then in 1922, the Meana family acquires the company, and it's still at the head of the company. Between 1999 and 2023, Pusterla 1880 becomes a global group with acquisition in France, in Italy, in Tunisia, in Moldavia, in UK, and in US, and with partnership with key factories in Asia. Today, Pusterla, that's 1,700 employees on 13 sites across the world, with a sales amount of 270 million euros. So Pusterla produces and supplies an extensive range of products with a large variety of materials and shapes, and offer a service of co-packing at demand for various markets, customers, and destination. Here you can see some example of product offered by Pusterla. So Pusterla is also located in France with 3 industrial plants, mainly on the west of France. So we have a plant in Chéré, near Le Mans, another plant in Maillet, near Le Mans too, and more in the south of France, another site, which is Oradour-sur-Glane. In these 3 sites, there are around 440 people working in R&D, production, logistic, or administration. And in France, we produce around 27 million of rigid boxes for our customer of beauty, wine and spirits, and food sectors. So that in this context of global presence and growth, that Pusterla started its digital transformation journey by implementing a common and integrated system. So the transformation was led to answer to strategic needs. At the group level, it was necessary to harmonize the IT systems used across the world and use the common technology platforms based on a common and shared database. At country and company level, it was necessary to replace existing legacy systems which were not integrated and not the same in all the country. But it's also needed to leverage the peculiarities of each entity to share best practices. So introducing an integrated system as Oracle Cloud brings the opportunity to replace offline systems and solve obsolescence problems, improve system performance, reliability, and security. Takes advantage of new technologies and functionalities and benefit from a continuous update solution. So the digital transformation journey is based on 3 Oracle cloud applications. So we use the ERP to manage item master data, purchasing, manufacturing, order management, and finance. We use also WMS to manage all logistic flows, inbound, transfer, and outbound. And we use OTM to create shipment based on sales order, to manage transportation pricing and dock scheduling. All these 3 applications are interfaced together to facilitate the data alignment in real time. The digital transformation was done in several steps. First in Europe, Italy started the project and went live in 2023. In France, we implement ERP, WMS, and OTM, and the go-live was in January this year. US will follow with a go-live plan by the end of this year, and then the UK with a go-live plan beginning of 2026. So all the entity will or have implemented ERP and WMS. For the moment, only France has implemented OTM to manage its complex environment and to answer better to our customer needs. So as part of the project, we had to cover the completeness and complexity of Pusterla processes to meet the business requirements. So about regarding the Pusterla France landscape with 3 industrial plants and up to 7 external warehouses, This landscape represents the part of the complexity of the project. So we use WMS to cover the complex mosaic of processes as inbound operation, manufacturing process, internal transfer within the 3 sites, outbound operation, inventory, and quality management. We use also WMS to cover the complex network of relationship we have with our outsourcing supplier, with our Italian partner counterpart, and with our integrated external warehouses. So within the luxury packaging sector, Pusterla is also characterized by complex and strong relationship with leaders of beauty and luxury sectors who have their own application to be connected with Pusterla application. That's the case, for example, with L'Oréal, Shiseido, and Coty, with whom Pusterla share item and labeling data through specific interfaces or platform. So in parallel of WMS, we implement OTM to cover also this complex landscape. These 2 applications interface together, provide an integrated end-to-end solution to manage warehousing, inventory, and outbound shipments, but also a tool to maintain and enhance the customer relationship and a way to maintain and foster the already integrated external warehouse suppliers and outsourcer flow. On the map, you can see here the location of, yes, it will appear. So in blue, the location of the French site, and in green, the location of our external supplier near the sites. So now I leave the floor to Leonardo, who will present you the application and the process landscape design for the digital transformation of Pusterla France.
Okay, thank you, Elisabeth. So now you may have understand that the main important challenge that we encountered with this project was related to the integration and interactions on the system that we implemented. So OTM, WMS, but also we have to think that we implemented also Oracle ERP. So, okay. In this picture, you can see the many important modules and also functionalities of the both 3 systems that we implemented that we used during this project. So for ERP, we introduced the module of material management, procurement, manufacturing, and order management. For OTM, we passed through all the end-to-end process, so functionalities related to order management, planning, execution, and invoicing. And last but not least, for WMS, we used and implemented all functionality related to inbound operation, transfer to manufacturing, put away from manufacturing, outbound operation, and inventory management. So for the management of the integrations and interaction of those 3 systems, we use the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OEC as a middleware, the Oracle PAAS, and also for the development of some custom solution, we used Apex. So now in that slide, you can see the modules or functionalities of the 3 systems that have at least one interactions with another model or functionalities with of another system. So we have to think that at least these functionalities or module have one specific integration with another system to follow the process. So thinking about the logical flow of Pusterla, we have a main integration for the creation of master data from ERP to OTM and WMS. For outbound process, we have a first interaction from order management module of ERP with the order management functionalities of OTM. After, from planning, we have, from OTM planning, we have an interaction with WMS or the header. After, at the execution of the all outbound operation on WMS, we have an interaction with a return flow from upload WMS to execution of OTM to order management module of ERP. And in the same time, we have a trigger that triggering an interface for a return flow from OTM order management to ERP order management module. At the end of the outbound flow, we have the closure of the end-to-end process on OTM with the settlement phase with an interaction with the ERP procurement module. Talking about inbound flow, we cover the process of Pusterla France with the first interactions between ERP and WMS from procurement to purchase order of WMS. Another from WMS EB shipment object to procurement module of ERP, and at the end, a cyclical flow from ERP and WMS from manufacturing to EBLPN. So now we will deeply analyze the many important integration that we developed during this project. Some numbers, we developed 35 integrations today, and 14 were developed to cover the entire outbound flow that is managed on the 3 different systems. Some really important integrations are related to the master data. So we said before that master data are managed on the master system that is ERP. So user create and also update data, master data in ERP. And after we have a lot of integrations that create and also update this master data directly in OTM and WMS. All these integrations are triggered in real time. So whenever a user create or also update master data in ERP, there is an immediately flow that create or update the master data on OTM and WMS, and this is really important because we have alignment in real time on master data on the 3 system, and we don't have any disalignment in the flow. For WMS specifically, we developed integration for item, standard case quantity, and bill of material association, while for OTM we developed integration for item palletization, that is an information that we save in equipment reference unit of item, for carrier, so service provider, contacts, and I didn't remember if I said before location. So other important integrations is from ERP to OTM. So the respective object of ERP sales order is the order base. So we retrieve to OTM the sales order from ERP with all information related to logistics flow and some other information that we save in order base and order baseline refnam or remark or attribute that are useful for a technical point of view for other integration for the return flow specifically, and also for user that works on OTM, so from a user point of view. Another important integration at the end for perform the outbound flow is triggering from OTM to WMS. From the OTM by shipment, we create directly in WMS order and also the OB load to perform all outbound and warehouse activities. At the end of the flow, other 3 main important integrations were developed. So at the ship load execution on WMS on a specific shipment, we have first of all a triggering of an interface that from OTM update ERP. So from OTM order release planned on this specific shipment on which someone performed the ship load execution on WMS, we have an integration with all sales order related to this shipment. We create a new revision on ERP, decrease the original quantity with the shipped real quantity and create a new line for the billing process. In the same time, there is an integration that from WMS update the shipment of OTM, and the last one directly from WMS to ERP that create the shipment in ERP and also fill a lot of information on the new revision that OTM before created with some missing information that are useful for the billing purpose of ERP. So now we will have a quick review on the main important point and process that we developed specifically for OTM. So passing through the end-to-end process, we will see the order base and release process. For planning phase, the planning of order release and rate management. For execution, the scheduling and shipment status update. And the end for settlement, the pre-invoice report and also the closing flow from OTM to ERP. So, as we said before, and you can see in the slide, we create an OTM based on the sales order, and an order-based line on OTM represent the quantity of a specific item requested by a customer for a variable time period. So we have to think about the order-based line that we have on OTM as a sort of a bucket for the customer. And thankful by the releasing process that we have on OTM, we create order release, and thankful this way of work, customer needs are met based on the requested delivery date. So we can release all line in the same time, all quantity of a line in the same time, or maybe partially released for some from different order-based line in the same order release, and based on the customer requirement that want to release on quantity and insert date and change geography. In some cases, we decided to use one-to-one order configuration. Passing through planning phase of OTM, every day user selected order release based on the early pickup date, and plan it into operational shipment. So we are talking about by shipment. So thankful working this way, the shipment, we use the standard algorithm of OTM for planning, obviously, and shipment reflect the best possible solution that meets the constraint of a setup of the system and also the characteristics of order release. And a really important point for Pusterla is that we can plan different order release related to different order base line, so different order base and different sales order that we have on ERP in the same shipment. And this is really important, was a strong challenge that we have, because we have to update in the same time different sales order at the end on ERP. Through to execution phase, we designed a custom action on shipment by shipment to send the shipment to WMS, and we create one order for each order release line related to the shipment, and obviously the OB load to perform the outbound warehouse activity. Another important point that also Elisabeth mentioned is about doc scheduling. We implement doc scheduling for the three main important plant of Pusterla, France, and we manage it for outbound and also inbound. For outbound, users take appointment directly on shipment that we have, so shipment related to order release and order base. But while for the inbound, we don't have orders, so user directly take appointment in the workbench or in dock and yard menu, and manage this type of appointment by generating the shipment as work. Also, for the execution phase, another remarkable point is that we designed a custom status of a shipment that in two cases can be also updated from WMS in prepared after the pick and pack activity and shipped after the execution of ship load confirmation. And this status is really important from user point of view, because in real time they can know the status of the shipment from WMS, and if they can make some change on shipment, first of all change of quantities, or maybe adding new order release, or assign some order release from the shipment. And we keep under control this type of activities by the implementation of specific action checks that look at this shipment custom status. At the end of the end-to-end process of OTM, we arrive to the settlement phase. So we design on BI, thankful BI publisher, a pre-invoice report custom that user can use to check the data and maybe fix some cost on by shipment on OTM. And as you can see in the slide, we use the standard flow of OTM. So from by shipment, we create standard invoice, consolidating in parent invoice after creating the voucher. And at the end, there is another integration from OTM to ERP, and from voucher we create the purchase order directly in ERP. Okay, so I leave the floor to Elisa, our WMS specialist, that can better explain about WMS and some interactions with OTM.
Thank you, Leonardo. We will now walk you through some OTMs and WMS highlights, starting with some WMS specificities, and then we will quickly move on, as said by Leonardo, on the main interaction between OTM and WMS. Okay. During Pusterla France digitalization journey, one of the main project goals was to cover the whole scope of warehouse operation fully with the WMS standard functionalities. To do so, we logically divided the warehouse operation in 4 main operational areas, also with based on the relationship with the ERP and OTM. Starting with the inbound operations, we managed to integrate the purchase order creation from ERP, and then we used the standard receipt and put away functionalities, leaving aside the inspection, which was not needed for the Pusterla France main operational needs. Then we also managed the full mess, so a custom production page for the transfer to and from production, starting from the finished good receiving and movement across the facility to the components picking and transferal to manufacturing. Then we covered the inventory core operation fully with the standards. So just to give you a flavor, the cycle counts, capabilities, the movement across various locations inside the warehouse, stock adjustments, and quality status management through log codes. To conclude, we covered the outbound operation, so the natural conclusion of the product life cycle inside the warehouse, managing both sales order and transfer across facilities with direct allocation functionalities, pick and pack, and load and ship functionalities of the WMS. However, to reach the complete management of Pusterla operation with the WMS, we had also to cover multiple industry-specific scenarios linked to the Lux packing sector, and moreover linked to the high complexity of Pusterla's own internal stock and quality processes and its own extensive supply chain network. To do so, we developed some Apex custom solutions. First and foremost, one to manage the quality status massive update and the quality status needs of Pusterla, and then to allow easier stock reconciliation for Pusterla, we developed a custom which checks the balance across ERP and WMS. Then we also covered Pusterla needs of integration, downstream integration with its own external warehouse suppliers with ADI flows. And to conclude, we also developed a flexible take on the outsourcing scenarios, starting from the more base case scenarios and moving on to 6 specific business scenarios, which involved a lot of customization in WMS and on the external ERP. Okay, now that I gave you a flavor of what was done with the WMS, I can walk you through a little bit better on the OTM and WMS interactions. So in this landscape, it was fundamental to create solid interaction between OTM and WMS to ensure the continuity of outbound processes and to guarantee a good usability overall. It is even more so due to the presence at the end of the outbound flow of a third system such as ERP. So we will now check out the 3 most important interfaces developed between OTM and WMS that guarantee this complete and successful interaction. First, starting from the creation and update of order and OB load from a planned OTM shipment, we will then check out the unassigned functionality, which was already, let's say, explained a little bit by Leonardo. And then, to conclude, we will check out the OTM shipment status updates. So, when a shipment is planned in OTM, it needs to be automatically created in WMS to ensure the continuous flow of the outbound stock. To do so, we developed an interface which is triggered by a custom action in OTM, which is tasked to create 2 objects in WMS. First and foremost, the order headers. Each order header has a one-to-one correspondence to OTM order release lines. And then, secondly, the load number itself, which represents the shipment. They are linked to the externally planned load number in WMS, which create the linkage and the association between order headers and the shipment itself. This externally planned load number is just the OTM shipment name, and we also, to facilitate the user experience, transmitted the other information used by Pusterla to recognize the linkage between shipments and orders. The same logic can be applied also for updates. So if something is to be changed in OTM, the update will pass both on the order headers and the load number itself. Then we will check out the unassigned functionalities. So in logistic flexibility is crucial. So sometimes users have the needs of disassociate an order from a shipment and cancel the shipment. And these should be reflected also on the WMS to ensure the correct association of stock on the orders inside the warehouse facility. So upon execution of a standard OTM action, an interface is triggered. This interface generates the complete deletion of the externally planned load number, which acts as the unique identifier and association between order headers and the shipment, as said, and also of some other custom fields employed by Pusterla. This factually removes all the orders from the previously associated OB load, as shown in the picture below. Then, to conclude, we had also to ensure that logistic operators could be able to check the status of the shipment from their office with their own OTM page without checking out the WMS and without interacting any interaction with the warehouse operators. To do so, we developed an interface task to transmit to OTM some shipment status updates based on two specific actions performed in WMS. First and foremost, at the load closure in WMS, and secondly, when a load is shipped. These information are transmitted by two different interfaces to ensure a correct information transmission. Okay, in the first case, as shown in the picture, the interface is triggered when the picking in WMS is concluded and load is correctly closed with the dedicated functionalities. This will generate that dedicated activity history, which is used to trigger an interface that will update OTM shipment status with the status prepared. The same is applied for the ship load confirmation in WMS, in which moment the information is sent to OTM and the status is changed to the custom status shipped. Okay, now that you are all asleep after so many slides, we can now check out a little bit the challenges to spice things up a bit and the methodology applied to solve them. So, as said, the whole project was not a smooth sailing project. We had a lot of involvement from external stakeholder, 3 systems, and that caused a lot of challenges on both the technical and human and organizational side of the project itself. Starting from the technical aspect, we had a lot of customization due to interrelated processes with customers and a strong supply chain network of Pusterla. This required a lot of customs and, for example, some ADI flows to integrate with external warehouses. Then we had to manage also a vast set of complex integration in itself. So we had to customize a lot of integration since standard pre-built were not fitting for Pusterla needs and also for the volume of information to be transmitted across 3 systems. Also, in the picture, we had Italy, which was a huge player with so many attributes, custom fields, lookups, and information flows shared across different countries of Pusterla. Then, moving on some more organizational aspect that we had to take into account, We had a fear of loss of coverage. Pusterla started from a custom single platform and feared the loss of functionalities and or to have functionalities less matching with their own processes. And also feared the growth in complexity, which is natural when you have to change from one platform to three, and the difficulty in information availability. Then we have also some constraints linked to the sector in which Pusterla operates. So the lockspacking sector is highly seasonal, and we had to decide on the form of the go live, which was a big bang form due to the presence of so many players linked to Pusterla and so many facilities. And we had not to go live in the peak seasonal periods, which goes from May to December, which is a huge chunk of time. For the more human aspect of the obstacle faced, we had a really extended team with more than 15 specialists, where 8 were only dedicated to WMS, OTM, and OEC products. Then we had the presence of a lot of key users dedicated to specific flow by Pusterla, so a lot of workforce there. And we had to manage also other entities from Pusterla, which were already gone live in the previous Italian rollout. This also added complexity. Then one of the most eye-catching things is the language barrier. We spoke 3 languages, mainly Italian, English, and French, with our poor product expert speaking only Italian and English. And while some of the key users of Pusterla and the majority of the end users spoke only French, while a few others were also proficient in English. Okay. To overcome those challenges, we applied a strong cloud scope and definitions. We asked ourselves, is this customization really needed? Should we leverage instead the standard feature or some other interface used or mappings in place for the Italian rollout? Then we had to apply a lot of change management through key users with the in-depth session for the most critical processes to match process with data ownership, which was not something that come really naturally or easily. One of the main points for us was to make a point that 3 different systems do not mean only separation, but also rational segregation of functionalities, specialization, growth potential, and best in the bunch across all products. Okay. Then we applied also cyclical approach testing and minimum viable products for some developments. As shown in the picture, we performed setups, integration design. We had a lot of cyclical testing with key users, and that could either lead to an approval or to an additional feature development. And then the go-live strategy. We had to postpone the project go-live to await the end of the peak period to be over. And this period was leveraged by training activities and additional testing and relevant project extensions. For the languages, instead, we had to work with what we had. So we had some product expert acting as a translator when possible, and key user also played a key role. In fact, they were assigned to prepare material for starting from project documentation and to train themselves the end users. The users again played a really huge part for their onboarding. They were present in many business simulations, received extensive training, and we had a really on-hands approach with them, with a really high user involvement. Okay, now I will leave the floor to Elisabeth. We will walk you through the results and the lesson learned during the project.
Thank you, Elisa. So, about the result, we had a one and smooth go live on the 3 industrial plants made on the 6th of January this year. So it's very recent. This result was obtained through cycle testing on the subsequent release of required new developments. So we do a lot of tests to validate all the steps of the project and analyze each case in order to avoid a critical problem at the go live. So by consequence, there was no case of non-covered operation emerge at the go-live time. And the most important is that there is no stoppage on activities, no delay in logistical flows, and no impact for our customer. There was also no relevant change requested at the go-live time. No, it doesn't work. Yeah. So about the lesson learned after this go-live, that's working with multiple systems and a very large team involved in this project. It was essential to be aligned as much as possible, especially on new requests and new flows. This was done by an organizational alignment, by always thinking about the implication of the process on all systems when changing and revising the flows, and also by identifying for each flow the system owner of the activity and the data. So we have also to learn that we have to think always about the end process, the end-to-end process, because if product know-how and experience on a specific application is key for requirements mapping and solution definition, successful implementation lies under a great understanding and knowledge of end-to-end process. And on how one activity performed in the system can affect the others downward. So to conclude, this smooth go live was due to a hard preparation during this 2 years project and a great support and involvement of the team Pusterla and Reply. So to finish, here you will see the team at the go live on the 3 sites, Pusterla and Reply, and as you can see,
Very beautiful.
Yes, and everyone has the smile.
So thank you all. I don't know if someone have any questions, or we are here.